There's no such thing as a tennis stroke. There never was. There never was. There never will be such a thing as a tennis stroke. You might as well get the word forehand and definitely get rid of the word stroke. Okay, that's just. I got some stories. I got so many stories. Probably for a future video about tennis words. Well, we can get rid of tennis forehand and backhand. The word forehand and backhand is really only to direct us to what side the ball is coming. That's all it's worth, okay? I had a kid on TikTok today tell me in my behind the back video, I hit this behind the back, okay? I even shocked myself, okay? I'm as humble as I can say it. It was fucking good. And I've hit it many, many times before. It's one of my favorite shots. The tweener, the drop shot, the behind the back, all the trick shots. I don't even call them trick shots. They're necessary shots in tennis. And this kid, who's got no tennis videos out there, comments on my video and says, if you keep doing that, you're going to mess up your game. You're going to mess up your strokes. I don't think he knows who he's talking to. And I immediately thought about it. I was like, well, I guess you might as well send that same message to Roger Federer. And while you're at it, send that message to, how about Alexander Dolgopolov? How about Nick Kyrgios? Send him that message too. All them tweeners. All those behind the backs, tweeners, etc. You're just messing up your game. You know, just let's Anna Kournikova. You just don't do those behind the backs. And how about, I guess this guy really did me in, really fucked me over. The Godfather, Richard Schonborn, the chief coach for the German Tennis Federation for 26 years, who coached both Boris Becker and Steffi Graf in their formative years, a winner of 31 national and international tournaments. This book right here, because this book teaches you in the developmental process to hit tweeners. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't listen to this guy. He's full of shit. But some kid on TikTok, and 90% of YouTube's going to tell me that your stroke this, stroke that, blah, 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 blah. If you dislike this video, you are in a spell. If you turn this video off because you don't like what I'm saying, you are under a spell. Witchcraft, okay? If you're afraid of witchcraft, get used to it because you're under it. You're under a spell. I remember this one client. I had, man, the things that I have done as a tennis pro, talking about bending over backwards for people for free just to get their business, to get their little $20 for a half hour, whatever the hell it is. Outdoor on these courts, setting up mini courts for these kids. I don't even know why I bother. Setting up the little mini courts. This one client had to prove myself because she heard about me, etc., blah, 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 even with the reference. And, you know, doing this, I don't remember if it was free. I don't know, but I remember setting up my shit outside. Got the daughter and then the son. Son didn't really like it, but the girl, she wanted to take private lessons. So we go back indoors, we set up these private lessons. She's like 5 years old. She's pretty good, 5 years old. Not pretty good as in like a tennis player, but pretty good as a kid playing sports for a 5-year-old or 6-year-old. You know, what else am I supposed to do? She's 5 years old. So I'm going through my routine, and I'm like, heck, she could probably hit a tweener, like frontward, a forwards tweener. So I ask her to try to hit the tweener. She's doing it, and she's kind of like uncomfortable with it. So I kind of let it go. And they dropped me. And I thought that I thought that maybe the girl was uncomfortable, you know, hitting between her legs or something like that. But I think they dropped me because I wasn't, as many others probably have, because I wasn't teaching her the proper tennis technique. I mean, God, she's 5 years old with no experience, and she's taking a half hour a week with me. And I got to play with this kid. As a 30-year-old adult, I got to play with this kid because I'm a good guy. And I see this girl taking lessons from the club pro who teaches traditional technique, and here she is, going through the process, and I'm sitting back. Well, that sure as hell ain't gonna work. She's 5 years old. Yellow ball. I don't even know what ball. Something close to a yellow ball. If it wasn't a yellow ball. Of course, 2 weeks later, she's gone. You never see her again. So, I mean, what's the real problem? Just this absolute misunderstanding. There's no such thing as tennis technique. This ain't the first time I've said it. This ain't going to be the last. I'm going to continue to say it as long as I hear the bullshit. And why do I do this? Why do I do it? Well, partially I'm venting. I am venting. It's never going to go away. I already know this. I might not even make these videos 6 months from now. Hopefully I'm not. Okay, but it's never going to go away. And I got to, defend myself, though, when I hear it. And it feels good. It feels good to rant about this. It does. It feels good to vent about it because, it messes up tennis. Frankly, it messes up tennis. How many times have I played tennis? And it's not really it's not the really experienced players, the college players usually, pro players, etc. It can be. It certainly can be. I have a video of a guy playing, just took it, the City Open. Guy looks over to me. I got my camera right there. He looks over, turns right in my face. His coach must have been right behind me or something, and says, "My backhand shit." Right in the middle of a ATP 500 qualifying event. Right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of the match. My backhand shit. He's already lost the match. It's already over. I mean, this thinking that there's that this kind of stuff exists. I mean, even if it did, and the guy was right, his backhand shit, it doesn't matter. He's not helping himself. So I gotta rant and I gotta vent. And as I was saying, it's the amateurs. Usually it's the amateurs, and they're pretty good. They're not bad players. I mean, call me an amateur. I don't care. We're good players. We're never going to be college players, professionals, but that doesn't mean we're not good players. And it's these guys, man, that they just, my forehand, and then it goes downhill and the game gets bad. And it's like, I'm just sitting back there thinking like, damn, you're such a good player. If you could just shut the fuck up for 5 minutes about your fucking goddamn forehand and backhand and just hit the ball to a spot. I mean, or just hit the ball with some topspin, all your problems will go away. As I said in the beginning of the video, I mean, it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Never read. They've watched a ton of greats say this and say that. They've never read, let alone coached anybody, never read a tennis book in their life. And here's this guy saying what he said. And I mean, how many, you see my videos? I got videos. Go back and watch them. Tennis books. I've read every tennis book on the planet. I've read and implemented every tennis book on the planet. Unfortunately, I haven't really been able to implement it the way I would want to the depth that I would want to, but I've certainly implemented them more than most people. Go back and watch those videos. And I still will I'll still get people come across my channel and still talk about tennis strokes.